Hi everyone, it's Misty here, and welcome to another card video on my YouTube channel. Today I want to share with you this adorable alien card that I made that glows in the dark. It would be perfect for a kid's birthday. In fact, that's why I made him. For my son. My son always seems to bring home birthday party invitations, and the birthday party's, a day away. So I made a set of these so that I would always have cards to hand out. All right, so the stamps that I used is by Clearly Besotted. It's called Out of This World. And I also used a stamp set by Simon Says Stamp called Birthday Balloons for the stars here. So I'm going to start off by stamping the stars with Versamark so that I can put on the glow-in-the-dark embossing powder, which is by Wow, and it's just called glow-in-the-dark. Hang on, before I get going too much here, let me just tell you. So like I said, I made a set of these cards, and I recorded me making all of them. So I chopped pieces out of one card and out of another card and kind of spliced them all together, because the first one I made took me a long time. I was really slow and I didn't want to make the video that long. So you'll see certain things in one part of the video and then it's gone in another scene and then it's back in the next. So that is why, if you're wondering. Like the dots of liquid on the side here, you'll see that those are gonna soon disappear, and then they'll reappear when I explain what they are. All right, so I laid down the stars, I put the glow in the dark embossing powder on, and now I'm just gonna create the starry sky with distressings, and I'm gonna use Salty Ocean, Seedless Preserves, and Chipped Sapphire. And I think this was the second or third one I had done, so I kind of had an idea of where I wanted my colors. And then I just blended the colors together as I went. So as you can see, the blue and the purple are kind of blend together on the top. And I wanted it lighter in the center, so I kept bringing the card front over to kind of give me an idea of where my center would be. And I have to apologize for the shaking in this video. I made this card when I was still using, my husband made me this really cool contraption out of PVC pipe that went over my desk, and it made my camera hang down right over the top of where I work. I now have a tripod that comes down from my ceiling, so for this reason exactly. Every time I made anything with distress ink, man, I can't talk. The whole thing would shake horribly. So I apologize for the shaking. I've changed that, so this will not happen anymore. But yeah, I made this card a while ago when I was still using the contraption on my desk. It's a really cool thing that he made. It's just my desk shakes really bad. All right, so now I'm just going back over the colors, trying to blend them together a little bit better. And as you can see, I left the center kind of lighter there. My goodness, the shaking is horrible. Anytime you put distress ink over embossing powder, you're going to want to wipe off the distress ink that is over where you put the embossing powder. So I tried to use a paintbrush with some water. You see my stars are kind of dark, so you just want to wipe that off and clean them up a little bit. Paintbrush didn't work so well. Baby wipe worked great. You just have to be careful where you put it so it doesn't get on the distress ink. It activates with water or liquid, so just be careful where you put it. All right, so as you can see, my little droplets magically disappeared. And it's because I wanted to show you what I used and how many squirts. So I just used, that's Delusions ink spray by Ranger. It's white linen. I think I did 3 squirts of that, a few squirts of water, and then I'm going to add some Perfect Pearls to it. The color, I think it says Perfect Pearls for the color too, so it's Perfect Pearls, I guess. I don't know. Original, plain, I don't know, but it just says Perfect Pearls again on the container. So just add 3 big scoops of that. Probably didn't need that much, but and then I believe these paintbrushes are also by Ranger. I think it came with a kit with the Perfect Pearls. I can't remember, but just a paintbrush to splatter, and I'm splattering it at different levels. So sometimes I'm kind of closer to the paper, and then other times I'm doing it higher up. The closer to the paper, the thicker the droplets will be, and then when you're farther up, it'll be not so thick. So I did that a few times just to give it that really cool starry night kind of look. And then I did a couple other things too. It just kind of added to the whole night sky. I did just water and Perfect Pearls, and did pretty much the same thing. So you have the white, any type of white, ink sprayer works, Perfect Pearls and water, and then just Perfect Pearls and water, and then I'm also going to do just water here in a second. So same thing, I just mixed it up, splattered it a few times, here and there, high, low. I think the first one I did, I kind of did overkill. I did it too much, and I didn't like it as much. And then the next one, I kind of learned how much I wanted and didn't do it so much. So I'm going to do the same thing with water. And that's one of the great things about Distress ink is how it reacts to water or liquids. It just kind of gives it that cool nighttime sky look. It looked really cool. All right, so I just took my heat tool to it and dried it up a bit and set that aside. Now I'm going to start working on these cute little aliens. So these guys are different than the picture at the beginning of the video. I did one for each of the little characters, and like I said, I chopped it up. So this one I just happened to color faster, so I use this guy. For the colors, I used, what did I use? FBG2, B01, and B04. And then at the end I add RV21 inside his mouth. You know, on the big green guy, I put glossy accents on his one big eye. I didn't even think I should have put them on all of their eyes. It would have looked cool on this guy's eyes too. Just have to make it again. Yeah, each of these critters are adorable. I'm just doing some shading on him. I mean, they can be any color you want them to be. It's not like a person where you kind of have to stick to the flesh tones and certain color hair. I mean, they can be any color. That's what's fun about these guys. First, I colored that guy on top, the 3-eye guy. I colored him purple, but then when I put him against the background, he kind of blended in. So I redid him in yellow and orange. It looked much better. So I'm just going over it and over it and over it again. I always do that. I go over it too much and then it, with the lightest color, and then it kind of fades out my shading, so I have to go over it again. So here's my little purple guy I did, but didn't look too good with the against the background. So now I'm just going to color the little rocket ship with R24 and R39. And then for the flame part of it, I did Y08 and Y38. So I did a yellow and then I did a little bit of orange too. That's the Y8. And here's the Y38. Just kind of down the middle. And then for the earth, I just did 2 colors. I didn't do any blending on that. I did B28 for the blue and G16 for the green. Just did that kind of simple. And I didn't like the planet that you saw in that last shot there. I colored it and I just didn't like the colors I'd chosen, so I restamped it, and this time I colored it with T0, T2, and T3. I knew I was going to fussy cut this out, so I wasn't concerned about staying in the line. And good tip, if you don't know this already, but anytime you cut an image right on the black line, you know how some images, if you use a dye, it has a white border. Well, if you don't do that, if you fussy cut them and it's right on the black line, take a black marker and go around the image with that black marker, like you'll see me doing with the planet here. And then that way, if there are any little spots that you didn't quite cut out perfectly, the black marker will mask that, so you won't be able to tell. So after I cut this out, I'll go around the edge with the black marker and it'll look like I cut it out perfectly. That's one of the best tips I've ever learned. Any black marker will work. I'm not a very good fussy cutter, so that tip is helpful. Now I'm just trying to figure out where I want the little planet to go. The first one, I didn't leave a border for, you know, the color of the sky to show around it. And the next one I did, and I really, really like it with the sky border around the white. The very first one I did the whole white was 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so there's no sky showing. I was kind of bummed about that. And then I just taped that on the back so it would stay in place. And I also added some fun foam to the back of this, just to give it a little dimension. Just adding some glossy accents here. And I just realized this would make a really cute shaker card. It almost looked like I had acetate in there for a second. That's what made me think of it, but yeah, add some acetate and throw in some sequins and you got yourself a shaker card. Multi-matte medium is what I'm adding to the back of the little critter here. I don't know, I go back and forth between glossy accents and the multi-matte. I think, I mean, they both are really great glues, so I can't say that one works better than the other. I do know the multi-matte dries clear, you can't see it at all, and then the glossy accents kind of, you know, has a shiny look to it if you happen to go outside of where you want the glue. Not sure if you noticed, but the sentiment magically appeared. And then I just used a star die that I have. I'll put a link to it in the description below. I can't remember the name of it. So now I'm just going to add some stars here and there on the outside and on the inside. I just used some glittery silver paper that I had in my scraps pile. The die that I used is so small that it was nice that I could actually use some of my scraps that I hang on to. And that will wrap up my card for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please click on the like button. And if you'd like to see more of my videos, click on the subscribe button. If you're looking for more ideas and more inspiration, I've also included 2 additional videos below this one. The one on the left is a bokeh effect card I made using distress inks, and the one on the right is more distress inking using a really cool sunrays stencil, so I hope you will check those both out. Alright, thanks. I'll see you next time. Bye.